Monique starts off this hour in Minneapolis. Hey, Monique, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I have a question for you. I'm wondering if I should use some of the money that I have in stock or retirement to kickstart my debt payoff. Mm-hmm. I do have 3, soon to be 4 children. So, and I would say my total debt is a pretty big number. But wanting to kickstart things and making sure I get on the right path so I can start saving, et cetera,
Gotcha.
Get to the other steps.
Not counting your house, how much debt do you have?
So I have about $150K in debt.
Okay. And what's your household income?
By myself, I'm at 140.
I'm sorry, are you by yourself?
Oh, I'm married, but my husband filed for bankruptcy individually, so it's I kind of keep his stuff separate because all of his stuff has rolled into his bankruptcy, and so we've just kind of separated things so that it wouldn't impact the household financials. So, yeah.
Okay. And so how much debt does he have in the Chapter 13 bankruptcy?
He has roughly 120.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What does he make a year?
165.
Okay. And what do you make a year?
140.
Okay. All right. So one way of looking at this is that you have a $300,000 income. I don't understand why you're in bankruptcy.
Well, he's in bankruptcy because at the time...
Honey, you're married. We are in bankruptcy.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, fair. So at the time that he filed, he was not working. He was just kind of like at a odds-in
But
job.
you made $140,000 a year.
Yes, and I still have my $140K in debt.
150, yeah. Okay, that's what you told me. All right.
150, yeah.
All right.
And
okay, let's stop. All right, and how much money do you have, either one of you have, in accounts, stock accounts or whatever, that are not inside of a retirement account?
$8K that are not inside of a retirement account.
$8,000?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Okay.
And I mean, I have money saved in my savings account, so probably another $10K for, you want to call it emergencies or whatever. But
okay, all right. So here's the way. Number one, I will tell you that in studying 10,000 plus millionaires, and in doing this for 30 years, I find virtually zero married couples get ahead financially and become wealthy, regardless of their incomes, if they don't work together as one unit. You are not doing that. You're violating that. You've got to work together as one unit to solve these things. The bad news is you have $270,000 in debt. The good news is you make $305,000. And that's the way I would look at it if I were you, based on 30 years of me doing this, if you want to win. If you want to be divorced, then go be divorced. But you don't have to paint or get off the ladder. So you got to decide what you is. And you're not two individual units that happen to be in the same household. He's not your roommate. He's your husband. And so you guys working together, for better, for worse, and richer, for poorer, unto thee all my worldly goods I pledge, is the old-fashioned marriage vows, and that's how building wealth works for a married couple the most often. 1% chance of making it if you don't do that. That's your probabilities, based on 30 years of me doing this. I just don't find it happening, where you drag along a wounded partner instead of standing up, dusting off, and we hold hands and we hold each other and we get in a death grip of a bear hug and we work through this crap together. So I would lay out a strategy with your fabulous income to clean up your debt. If you lived on $50,000 a year, household income as your living expenses, which would be the normal household income in America is $54,000, by the way. So if I put you on a normal American's household income, not counting taxes, that would free up $250,000 a year to attack $270,000 in debt. Minus taxes, that means you're 100% debt-free with the bankruptcy dismissed in 2 years.
I just don't know if that's possible because of the cost of childcare, because we have 3, soon to be 4 kids.
You just told me childcare is going to keep you from putting $250,000 on it. You really believe childcare? You really believe childcare is $100,000 a year? That's the way you just stated that.
Okay, not okay. Fair. Okay.
Okay. It's a minor issue.
$4K a month, though.
It's mathematically a non-starter. So it can, are my numbers exactly right? Is it going to take you exactly 24 months? No, it might take you 18. It might take you 27. But it's absurd for you all to stay in debt and in bankruptcy with the kind of incomes that you all have if you were to join arms and actually learn to work together. This is not obviously the news you wanted when you called, but that's okay. I'm here to love you, not to make you I'm not taking a poll. I'm here to help you. So this is what works, kiddo, and that's what I would tell you to do. You're bright people. Dumb people don't make $300,000 a year. So you're bright, but you're violating common sense ethic, and the data points that you're violating are not going to get you there. The process that you're using. So please, the two of you sit down together and say, how can we get out of this mess? Given that we have this fabulously large shovel, and we have this medium-sized hole. You know, if you call me up and you're making $27,000 a year and you had this debt, I would be going, I don't know what you're going to do. But the good news is you have this fabulous income. If you will just say no to you and really detail out a scorched earth budget, you can clear this debt in an amazingly short period of time. The math's right there in front of you. Yeah, you got some child care expense, that's there, and you're obviously carrying a child, which is wonderful, another blessing you've got, and that does affect your decision making as well. And so that's what you got to look at. But you can do this. I know you can do this. I know you can do this more than you know you can do this, because I've seen people just like you do it.